All right, guys, I'm getting ready to go in the booth here, and as a matter of fact, I'll walk in. I got this GoPro linked to my phone so I can control it because it's strapped to my head, people. So these are all the parts. Well, these aren't all the parts, but these parts that I have here for that Harley Davidson, they're going black. No stripes, just all black. They were this orangey brownish color. Front fender was gray or silver. The rear fender was silver. You don't see hardly any of this back fender. It's got saddlebags and all. It's going solid black. The front fender, which is how this whole job got started, hang this gun up here. The front fender had a couple dents in it. That's how this whole job got started. And I fixed the dents, and it did have some stripes in there, but I'm not going to fool with it. I think there's going to be enough going on with the rest of the bike. I'm not going to fool with that. So it's going to be black. It's going to look sharp. And all these parts are plastic parts that go down by the fairing and stuff. So they're all going black. Hopefully, all of this stuff will, hopefully everything will work right. I have already wiped everything off with wax and grease remover and waterborne solvent, and make sure I'm still recording here. Yeah. And I've tacked it off. If you guys notice, there's like some little pieces of trash on the floor. I do need to clean this booth out, but this is a downdraft booth, so all that stuff stays put. It won't get up into this like a cross flow and get contamination in here, but all this air is moving down straight down through the floor, so it won't cause a problem. So I'm going to set my gun up here. About 13 pounds. We're going to go there. 13. All right, here we go. Now if I can get this respirator on over top of the camera without messing it up, you're not going to be able to hear me very well until I'm done. Good number 2. Okay, that was coat kind of 1 and 2. That's solvent based paint, so it flashes off really fast. So I was able to start all the way down to the end of the booth, and by the time I got the fenders done, I was able to put another coat back on the parts in the front of the booth again. One thing I want to mention to you is that I don't know if you noticed when I was painting, I follow the contour of those fenders, and there's a little lip around that bottom of those things, and I try and cover that, but I also follow not only the arch of the fender, but as the fender starts to roll over, you have to follow that too. That's all important. Anyway, I just wanted you to take note of that. Hopefully this is showing up all right. All right, before I put the third coat on, I'm going to come in here and check them out. Yeah, they're looking good. I know that this down here appears dirty, but all that's been tacked off. It's totally fine. And I know some of you may be wondering about, about these stands that I've got these set up on. They look all dirty. Well, they are, but believe it or not, that has never been a problem. These are bumper stands, and I flip the arms upside down to hold these fenders. The paint that's on them is stuck. As long as you don't brush on them, I've never had a problem with dirt coming out of them. Now, one area that you may have trouble is, and I'm not going to touch it, this is a rubber boot, and I blew it off real good before we started. Sometimes the paint doesn't want to stick to those, and it'll cause a problem. But it seems to be fine. All of this is looking good. I think, I don't know, 1-2 more coats to probably get it. All right, let's get this thing off my head here. They've got around 4 coats on there, but you know, it's kind of relative. Some people put it on heavier than others. It's covered. It looks clean so far. We're gonna let that flash off really good. Let as much of that solvent escape as possible. And we're gonna come back and put some clear on. Okay. I've got a gun here full of clear coat, and I've got the slowest hardener I have in there. And what that means is it's not going to set up as fast. I mean, just like it sounds. And the advantage to that is the paint flows out. But the scary part is you can easily get a run, because the point here is I don't want to have to wet sand and re-clear this stuff. It doesn't have stripes on it, so it won't have those ridges from the different layers of paint. So I want to get it as slick as possible the first time. Again, I can wet sand and denib any little pieces of lint or dirt that get in it, but I don't want to end up having to re-clear the whole thing. But we'll see, especially on those little dash pieces with all the little intricate little pockets, that's where you'll catch a lot of runs. But we'll see how it goes. And remember guys, this stuff cures. My senior class, or my junior class is doing right now from temperature, from evaporation, and from cross-linking of the hardener. And that hardener is the slowest we got, like I said earlier. So let's see how it goes. It's been about 6 minutes. I'm gonna walk back in here real quick and check and see if it's ready for another coat. I always check the last thing that I cleared, which is this rear fender, and I'm going to touch it somewhere where it doesn't matter if it leaves a fingerprint. Oh yeah, we're ready. I can leave a fingerprint in that. I don't know if you can really see it, but it's not sticking to my hand. It's what we call finger slick. So let me get suited up and get back to it here. All right, we'll go in there and check it out after I clean this gun out. It looks pretty good. All right, it's probably been 5 or 10 minutes since I put that last coat of clear on. So if anything was gonna run, it would have done it by now. And I think everything, there's a couple little teeny dirt nibs in there, no big deal. You guys have kind of heard me say a couple little dirt nibs in it, no biggie. They'll buff out. You guys have heard me say in other videos where I've worked on motorcycle stuff, motorcycle guys are picky. And I know the guy that owns this motorcycle is watching this, but that's just how it is, because they can pick this piece up and examine it, put it right up to their face, where you can't do that with a car. But this looks good. Everybody should be happy with this. Well, I'm gonna try and get this edited up as soon as possible. I'm trying to keep it short. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you're learning something.